It's me, Lipluini. I'm back with my little let's play here, and wow, we got a lot of battles this turn, and all against Yomon and between us and Yomon. Yes, let's take a look, for example, at this battle here. One of my standard armies with lots of hairy elephants in the middle and mostly archers and some basic dudes for defense. Nothing special. Well, my pretender is in this battle, and with his Death 9 and being scary from being scary naturally, he is basically like a giant fear spell on its own, which will only matter, of course, if he ever gets into melee range, and I try my best to avoid this, since the best thing he can do is casting death spells, and I want him to cast a lot of death spells. Well, not right now. Later in the game, when my magic research is a bit better. And hey, look at that. While I was rambling on, my mammoths have already stomped halfway through the enemy army. Nice. This battle is still pretty damn easy. The enemy can't do anything special except, well, dying. There aren't enough archers to panic my horde of mammoths, so the battle is basically just my mammoths very slowly marching through the army and smashing everything. Yeah, no, it's not that interesting without major magic, but well, our magic research is still pretty damn low, thanks to the settings for our gimmick game. So now only the archers are ready to die. Ha, flying dudes are funny. Of course, in this case, this would be better if my winged dudes wouldn't place themselves between the enemy and the units I want to stomp. But hey, at least we won already. Now let's see how many samurai archers we can kill before they all run away. Probably not much, since my entire army is on the wrong side of the field, but hey, looks very like we stomped some. Bonus. But I guess those... oh, okay. No, they are encircled and dead. Okay. Well, no running for you, little archer guys. Ha! Well, a nice and easy battle for us. Oh yeah, thanks for helping us, archers. Friendly fire is one of the more funny things in this game. And with this, the battle is over. There's not a single unit of Yomon here in the field. Then there was a battle in Greendale, where we defeated an enemy sieging force, and Mountains of Mist, and a little attack by Yomon again, and we attacking Yomon. Fighting the AI is a little bit chaotic. Oh, we destroyed an enemy temple. Bonus for us. Then Snowford. Now it's us sieging Yomon. And we took another province just so. And here a thief was slain, and we got magic gems because of it. A bit extra harvest. And we are sieging 2 fortresses. And yeah, that's a lot of Yomon units. And I have no idea how many of them are still scripted or how many of them are just large blobs controlled by the AI. Anyway, thanks to the AI upgrade landing midway through our game, the AI actually fights a lot better in this game, so I'm basically one of the first multiplayer players to suffer a slightly better AI. And to top this off, in a game where we set gold and resources to maximum. Oh, aren't we funny? Well, let's reorder some armies here and there. Again, our basic setup. Lots of mammoths in the middle, some dudes with spears, and archers. In this case, of course, I have some of my death archers here, and it would be better to use this special army unit together with some priests to bless them. But apparently I forgot to give this little division of some. Whoops, my bad. A lot of chaotic things happening here. Let's see, what should I recruit here? Well, the most important thing against the AI is to lock down the forces, because the AI will recruit the maximum units it can, like a robot, again and again, creating huge blobs, which you need either major magic to deal with, or huge armies of yourselves. Anyway, it's tedious. So that's the strategic situation this turn. The stupid troll army is still annoying me. There are pale ones in the southeast, but pale ones aren't that good. So this is one army I can easily crush. It's just annoying, like always. And here are the three main armies with lots of samurai archers and probably still some remnants of the human player scripting and so on and stuff. And there are temples, unprotected temples, so I guess the best course of action would be to go smash them to do double damage, since every destroyed temple has to be rebuilt at some point. And smashing them makes it easier for our Dominion to slowly strangle humans. But still, we have all those other units and armies to organize and somehow bring to the front lines in the south. A lot of tedious work. For me, the most fun in the game is planning. The actual execution is, because of Dominion Force peculiarities, always a bit unfun and tedious, especially if you have a lot of armies and a lot of leaders and mages to deal with. The complexity rises exponentially in this game, and well, I'm a bit lazy. I like to make hugely complicated plans, but if it comes to executing them, well, we'll see later when I am just sleeping through entire turns because I don't want to deal with this shit. I'm literally the worst player in the endgame because of this. Well, anyway, more mammoths. We still aren't at the point where I can use magic and summoned magic creatures as a substitute, so I have to deal with those slow moving motherfuckers. I mean, they're slow compared with our flying units. This will be something I have to think about in the future. I want to make my armies highly mobile, which means no non-flying units, but of course I have also my super archers. If I want to use them in the future, I have to deal with this shit. The shit being them not being able to fly. I'm guessing I will make 3 types of armies in the future. fake armies with all my surviving mammoths in them, magic heavy armies with lots of my death archers, and less magical strike forces without any troops on foot. Those can travel about, as our flying units can travel about 3 provinces instead of 1 or 2, and as flying units they can't be slowed down by forests and the like, so they can basically just evade enemy defenses and defense armies and strike behind them. Well, let's see how that works out. As I said, I like planning, but executing my plans, oh boy, oh boy. Well, anyway, here I am organizing some of my second tier units into something resembling an army. Mostly just so in an emergency I can let them fight some low tier enemy units without having to think about it. I have, because of my laziness, this fatal error in judgment where I try to not deal with scripting for as long as possible, shoving it before me like some ugly lump of trash. There were times in the past where this kind of thing ended up with me losing entire armies because they got surprised before I got around to scripting them. So I try to learn from those experiences, but still, if an army seems to be safe deep inside my territory, I tend to keep off scripting it until it gets close enough to the front lines. Most of the time I'm lucky and I can just move large lumps of troops around without getting slowly mad by all the tedious scripting, and sometimes I still get surprised and slaughtered because I scripted nothing. Hopefully this time I can keep some sort of balance between lazy moving of troops and tedious scripting. At least this is not Dominion 3. Dominion 3 lacked a lot of the quality of life upgrades, like recruited mages automatically being set to research, and playing it was like playing a mad dream where you're forced to do a lot of tedious bullshit to play a fantasy game. It was still fun, but it suffered even more from the "ugh, I can't do this shit anymore" syndrome, where players just set themselves AI and drop out of the game. Like, funnily enough, like it started to happen here, with first human dropping off, and later other players giving up. But hey, that's the trouble with time-eating fantasy strategy games like this one. Not everyone has an infinite amount of time, and sometimes real life wins and fake life loses. Looks like I spent a lot of time this turn organizing armies. Yeah, I can imagine it isn't too exciting just looking at me moving units around. In this case, I made sure that all those squads are working together without stepping on each other's toes, because with trampling units like mammoths this would be really embarrassing and bad. And now this fresh new army will march here, kill a priest, destroy a temple, take in another province, and then, after smashing some temples here and there, I plan on swinging around and sieging Yomon. That's the province with lots of bearded dudes sitting below the fortress, right in the middle. And I left between the little forest where I already besieging a fortress. And anyway, I see there is still... yes, I wanted to look at the battle in the Mountains of Mist. Fun fact, Mist translates to Nebel in Germany, while there is a literal German word called Mist, which translates to manure in English. So, for a German, this sounds like the mountains of shit. Anyway, the battle was astonishingly short. Nothing of interest happened, and I already regret showing it off. I really want to only let you see the interesting things, but well, in a turn-based strategy game, there's only so and so much you can do when you make video recordings. Really, if I had the time, I probably would have made a screenshot let's play, but I already run several of them, and I also don't have infinite time, so something has to give, and even if it's a lot of work and takes a lot of hard disk space, it's still less work than making lots of screenshots and writing a lot. In this case, I just have to babble like a madman and then wait while the videos render on themselves. It's really not that bad. Of course it's incredibly lazy, but it's not bad. So here, Ravenlord, spooky stealth units, and a mammoth. I have no idea why I put a mammoth there too. Those turns are somewhere time in the past after all, but I'm sure I had some idea in my head, probably a stupid one. Well, since I still have some time left in this turn, I think I can build some towers and shit. After all, a fortress isn't really finished just after you build it. The only finished fortress you get is your capital. Every other fortress is basically the low effort base model, and you can pay for upgrades as long as you're willing to invest some money. And here I decided to build some towers. Towers and other crap. Shoot some bullshit arrows and shit at advancing armies. Additional gates makes it harder to just walk into the fortress, and other shit just makes a fortress hold longer out against a siege without the soldiers in it starving. It's kind of interesting. I'm still a couple levels out from my first research goal. Too bad. Well, let's move some troops and then continue this discussion in the next episode. Lipluini out.